Hey, I'm Wes.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Dane. And we're called Golden Shadow, and this is a song called Half Moon, which explores the concept of lunacy, where people act very differently under the influence of moonlight. The oil rig tonight, you're in a funny state of mind. Make a lunar landing site and wait for heathens to arrive. This crazy half melon dream, only one half of this thing. Try to make this work again, but I'm losing patience. Take the weekend and go out to see Providence lights. In the shadow of the specter, you lose your mind. Let somebody know, let somebody know, let somebody know you're moving slow. Walk into the room, helpless under lights. You begin to move to this after tonight. One step back, one step in. You were there when I didn't know your name. One step back, one step down. One step back, one step in. You were there when I didn't know your name. One step back, one step in, one step down. Take the weekend and go out to see Providence lights. In the shadow of the specter, you will lose your mind. Let somebody know, let somebody know, let somebody know you're moving slow. Walk into the room, helpless under lights. You begin to move to this afternoon tonight. One step back, one step in. You were there when I didn't know your name. One step back, one step down. Let somebody know, let somebody know, let somebody know you're moving slow. Walk into the room, helpless under lights. You begin to move to this afternoon tonight. That was Half Moon, a song off our latest album, Torch, which is out now. And if you want to celebrate with us, we've got 2 CD release parties in Nanaimo, September 11th at the Vault Cafe with the Stacks, and September 12th at the Buzz Coffee House with Morning Show. So hope to see you there.
We've moved up to a bit higher ground in Cappy Yates Park. I don't know if you remember this from a past edition of Clocked. It was quite popular, and the young professionals of Nanaimo did a big cleanup job a couple years ago now, I believe it is. And we were checking in at Gem Fabrications when we arrived here for today's shoot, and a gentleman came in and said, "Oh, I've got all these plans and I'm cleaning up," and there's a lot of attention being put into what I think is a really underutilized historical spot in our downtown core, Cappy Yates Park on the corner of Fitzwilliam and Wallace. We're going to throw things over now to, well, Mr. Mayor Mckay. in the last few weeks, we've changed our format a little bit. Instead of chit-chatting with him in front of City Hall about recent municipal issues, of which there have been many lately, we're deciding to explore our area with him and get some insight into our history from a man who not only is mayor, but has lived here for most of his life. We explored Newcastle Island. This week is protection, and all those that talk about him being hungry is true. I arranged for the shoot and they hadn't eaten lunch. Silly guys.
Words with Mayor Mckay.
Last week we explored Newcastle Island. This week we are exploring Protection Island by way of ferry, of course, because I do believe it's the only way to get here. That's true, right?
Either that or private boat.
Well, how did the pirates get here?
By big boats.
Big boats, big private boats.
Exactly.
Yeah, now one of the things about Protection Island is that it was kind of a crazy idea from the ex-mayor Frank Ney, is that correct? The history of it?
Yes.
And what was his idea? He thought that people would want to live on this.
He was a wee bit of a pirate himself, so to speak.
And we're not exaggerating, right?
And all you have to do is look at Nanaimo at all the names in Nanaimo of the street names. No, it's same here in Nanaimo. This, or on Protection Island, this here is actually known as the Circle.
And we're walking it quite
That's right.
literally
This
in
is the
circles
circle.
right now. And this is the main mode of transportation is golf cart. And you like this one. This one you think is pretty scoopy.
I think that's pretty cool.
No.
I like that.
Maximum speed
my
limit.
dad actually had one with a little trailer. It had two little seats in it and an umbrella.
Oh, that was styling then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep walking. Now, the maximum speed limit here is 20 kilometers an hour, yet they still encourage people to slow down because that might be too fast for life here on Protection Island. You spent a lot of time on this island as a kid.
Our cabin, or our house that we built, was actually on the other end of the island,
Oh, okay.
over towards the lighthouse.
And do you get here very often now?
Oh, as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes we went to friend's cabin, and it's got the greatest view. In fact, we want to get the view of the harbor.
Yeah.
And get it blown up, and we'll use that out around, if we ever get a hot tub or something like that out in the backyard. I think it's great.
Nice, nice.
Now we saw this. This is pretty cool.
This is unusual. I'm not sure, what do these restricted license plates mean?
Well, because they have to be licensed. You have to have turn signals, lights, and a horn.
So this is pimunchies.com. They're here stacking up, I guess, on supplies. Pirates Park is just down the road.
They probably sing ice cream music. Yep.
Doesn't it make you want ice cream?
It sure does.
Kind of right now. The street names, you mentioned street names. There's, let's see, we got the map here.
We're on Pirates Lane right now.
Okay.
And then
Captain Kidd's Terrace.
Yep, Treasure
Trail. Captain Morgan's Boulevard.
That's right. My dad's house is on Captain Morgan's Boulevard. There's Cutlass Lookout, Smuggler's Beach.
Oh,
Yep.
Gallows Point.
Gallows Point.
Beacon House Community Hall. There's a really cute museum here.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, most people think that maybe it's only the pub that is the attraction here, but it's pretty cool to get off here and walk around and explore the island.
Yep. Yep. It's interesting because New Year's Day they have a polar bear swim.
On Protection Island?
On Protection Island, they have a big.
That would be really crazy.
Really big chili cook-off. So we all sat down by a fire, and drank scotch out of very lovely crystal glasses.
Ooh, how
It was
classy.
rightfully la-di-da.
Rightfully la-di-da. Smuggler's Beach Park. Oh, it all sounds so fun.
Smuggler's Beach, that's a great park because it's quite shallow and you go out for a long way.
Yeah.
And there's great swimming there. It's awesome.
This is one of the things that makes Nanaimo unique. I mean, not every city has an island like this 5 minutes from town.
Well, and who else has Canada's only floating pub?
And that would be the dinghy dock, and you're hungry, right?
Yes,
We
I've
wouldn't
been
say
hungry. I've been hungry for 3 hours now.
And it's my fault because I didn't book this trip properly. We've seen Newcastle Island. We've told you a little bit about Protection Island. And now we will put you out of your misery, get you some food. Next up, part 3, the Dinghy Dock Pub. Canada's only floating. Okay, but I still think there's treasure on this island.
That was-
But what we're going to do is post a map of the world highlighting the spots where there are trouble. And we have heart-shaped sticky notes where people can write their affirmations and their prayers and their positive thoughts and send that to the world.
Mine is not really looking, it's tired.
Today we've come together to get ready for Peace Day, and so there's dragons being folded. We've strung peace flags on strings so we can hang them up around the Lions Pavilion down at Matthews Hutton Park. Putting together posters, just come together in the name of peace.
Ultimately, changing our own consciousness is the only thing that will bring peace to the world. And we stop believing that these things need to be, that it's normal and natural for the human race to be violent and confrontive. When we start recognizing the truth of who we are and seeing that truth in each other, that's the only thing that will ultimately bring peace.
Whether it's unity, whether it's just mankind, peace is something that's sorely needed in our world, and it begins with all of us. And you know, we have to set aside our judgments and just get along with others. Otherwise, we're spiraling down, and we should be going the other direction.
So this is a peace party in the park. Bring a picnic lunch, bring the kids. We have all sorts of activities planned, non-stop musical entertainment. We have a belly dancing peace circle. We have a flash mob choir, and you're all invited to learn the songs. Go to www.peacenanaimo.com, and the words are all up there in the song. Some of our group rehearsed it and videoed it for you so you can learn the song. And there'll be face painting, rock painting, and butterfly feet, and a meditation tent, and bring a picnic and stay for the afternoon and evening.
This is the International Day of Peace, and it's happening at Matthews Hutton Park, September 21st, which is a Monday, from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Come on down and join us and celebrate peace. You know, it has to start with each of us, and might as well start now.
Boats in Fog, Nanaimo Harbor, Vancouver Island, a photograph and new edition here at Gallery Row by Lynn Burrows. You are watching Go for the week of September 4th through the 11th. And before we take a bit of unusual adventure, we're going to follow through on a promise that we made you earlier in this edition of Go Island. Check out this view. My first time experiencing it in all of my years here in Nanaimo, and we're happy to share it with you on today's show. This is what you see from the gazebo behind Gem Fabrications, all part of a new outdoor music performance venue area in the Old City Quarter. Now, back to an adventure and a view of an entirely different kind, something you've probably never experienced before. This is the Wacky Woods in Fanny Bay on the Arbutus RV Island Adventure.